Yeah, absolutely. So, let's welcome Sunny Mahal, aka Mr. Sunshine State of Mind. This guy is an accomplished property developer, raises joint venture finance, business mentor. This guy really is something else, but in a good way. So let's welcome, put our hands together, at home, and let's welcome Sunny Mahal to the stage.
Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's what? I was just about to say it's Monday. Honestly, mate, I don't know what day of the week it is, honestly. God damn. Okay, cool. So we are going to kick things off. Let me just share my screen. PowerPoint. Bang. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. Can everybody else? Yep. Yeah, all good to go.
All good to go, yeah? Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera off, because then obviously that gives better streaming experience and stuff. You don't need to see this handsome face. I've just got like morning hair and stuff. But hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Right. I am off. I'm going to minimize you guys. And let's get started. Cool. So welcome everybody to the property conference and the wonderful world of Mr. Sunshine. So I'm just going to hope you guys are all doing well. Everybody's staying safe during this time of quarantine, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, baby, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get things cracking. Whoop. If things would like to go to the next screen. There we go. There we go. Cool. So today we're going to focus on how to develop a winning mindset and achieve any goal to thrive in property and in business. And this is a property conference special, my friends. So the first thing is, who is Mr. Sunshine? So that's me. I'm a award-winning property developer. I've got over 13 years experience in business. That's starting and selling and scaling businesses. Property and land developer. So we buy property and do those up, and we buy land and build houses from the ground up. And I'm also a property and business mindset coach. And that's about it. That's all you need to know about me. And today's agenda, what we're going to go through is creating a winning mindset, how to achieve any goal that you desire. That's right, any single goal that you desire. And a few of my next moves just to inspire you guys, maybe, or just to show you what other people are basically doing as well. And just the opportunity that lies ahead, to be fair. So we're going to crack things off with the model for developing a winning mindset, just to quickly overcome things that are holding you back. And honestly, like, this is a technique that I use and other people use. And it's been around for years, right? And it's all about controlling your state. Now, before I knew this technique and before I was working on my own self, I was miserable. I was obese. I was a negative person. And people that know me now, they're like, what the hell, you was a negative person? God damn. But I just used to be always talking myself out of doing certain things just because it was the easy way out. And until I started learning about self-development and I started implementing it in my own life, I saw my life transform. And what I'm going to share with you guys today with this technique, I want every single person to focus on what I'm going to be speaking about today, because it's going to change the game for you guys. And a lot of people don't actually know that you can actually change your state in seconds, okay? And there's a certain technique that I use, that successful entrepreneurs use, and you just get your body into state for peak performance. Now, this has stemmed from people such as like Tony Robbins, and it's also stemmed from NLP, which is short for Neuro Linguistics Programming. And I'm a qualified practitioner of that. So I love what I learn and I love what I teach as well. And this technique's changed so many lives, including mine. And literally, when you actually operate at a state of peak performance, you refuse to live a life of compromise, and you actually operate on a higher level, and you want to inspire people to actually do the same thing. And believe it or not, we have the ability to control everything in our lives, from our mood to our decisions, to our actions, and to our results, right? And I always say to people, you should stay positive, and like, you're going to get positive results. Now, I don't mean just being bloody positive all the time, because it's impossible to do. But it's all about controlling your state and achieving peak performance. And that comes down to these three things. Now, the first thing that we're going to touch upon is, screen freeze there. The first thing we're going to touch on, the first component, is your physiology. Now, this is everything from how you breathe, to your posture, to your tone, to your fitness. And I mean, as soon as you change your state, you change your outcome as well. Like, for instance, if you were to walk around like with your shoulders slouched forward and just sort of like low tonality and just like a miserable sort of face, like, how would that make you feel? That makes you feel all sort of like slumpish and just negative, right? I mean, if you actually sit back, you put your shoulders back, head held high, your voice very strong, and you feel a little bit more empowered. And even when you put a smile on your face, it's actually difficult to be negative. I mean, everybody that's watching right now, again, well done for waking up so early. I want you guys to just notice how your physiology is and just sit up straight, roll your shoulders back, have your head held high, and just put a smile on your face. Like, how does that make you feel? It makes you feel more empowered and more stronger, right? But you have to like make sure that you're conscious of your physiology. I mean, if you feel down and you feel negative a little bit, just start moving around, do something totally different. I mean, fitness, for example, it releases key hormones, endorphins, and dopamine as well. And it naturally gives you more energy and more focus. Now, you see, like a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm too tired to go to the gym, or I don't want to do a workout, I don't want to go for a walk or anything. But I guarantee the minute you've done that activity, it actually gives you more energy and more focus as well. And back in the day, like I said, I used to be obese, I was stressed, I was anxious, I was nervous, I was depressed. I was one of the shyest people you probably know. And you wouldn't believe that now. But I mean, I used to be 18 and a half stone, 42-inch waist. And I used to just look at the greats and just say, what are they doing? Like, what is so different about me and the people that are winning in life? And the more and more I studied people and started modeling them, the key thing was that they worked on their fitness. So I started adopting this with sheer discipline. I didn't just give it a go. And I said, look, I ain't going to play no games. I'm just going to literally go all in. And it changed my life. And I had literally more wealth than ever, more time to enjoy it. And the one thing you have to remember is that we only have one vehicle in life, and that is our body. And rather than abusing it, it's not just like being fit and going to the gym. It's about being active, right? Because it's our natural state. We are naturally born to be moving around, right? Even in the womb, we're not just sat there. We're always turning around, going left, going right, annoying your mother and stuff, you know? So it's like, it's a natural thing for us. And then you also want to be like sure of the kind of things that you're eating as well, right? Like, what kind of food are you putting into your body? It's like everybody's got like a petrol or diesel car. I always speak about this. And if you got a petrol car, you go to the petrol station, you're going to put petrol in it, right? You would never ever put diesel in it. Why? Because, oh, my car might break down. I might have to call the RAC out and stuff like that, or the AA. But our own body, we don't really focus on what we're actually intaking with that, right? And the minute we start flipping it, that's when you're going to start seeing change. So make sure you've got plenty of water that you're drinking. Make sure you're eating the right things, because this has a ripple effect on anything you want in life. And here's a little before and after of the chunky monkey, just to inspire you guys. It's just about starting somewhere rather than nowhere. I mean, that's me on the left. Like I said, I was a fat shit. I always say it. I'm proud of saying it now. And then literally years and years of working on myself, I transformed to there. And you know what? Like, even with that, it wasn't just like me that benefited from it. My whole family, the people around me, the way I want to like inspire people now, it actually helps so many people. And another thing, it's like even people getting into business and property, and like you're trying to find investors or business partners or even clients, if whatever your business is. Like literally before I did this, when I was on the left, nobody really wanted to know me. Nobody really wanted to hear what I had to say. But the minute I started changing my physiology and actually working on my body, the amount of people that said, okay, if he's put that much discipline into his body, imagine what discipline he puts into business and into life and into relationships as well. So that actually helped me like gain new business partners, gain new clients, gain people and investors that wanted to actually work with us. So it's imperative that you work on your health and fitness as well. So the next point, so that's that one. So I hope that picture inspired you guys. I call that picture shit to fit, by the way. The next one is focus. Now this is plain and simple. Like, a good saying is, where focus goes, energy flows. And simply put, like, whatever you focus on is going to become a reality. Now, a lot of people, they get into property. I'm going to try and stick to property examples because obviously it's a property conference. But a lot of people are either in property already or they're looking to get into property. They always focus on the negative. Like, what if I do this deal and it goes wrong? Or what if this happens? Or what if that happens? But how about flipping your thought pattern to, what if I do this and I win? I mean, how much money can I make? How much wealth can I build? How many lives can I change? You know, like the minute we start changing our focus, we change our results. And most people are problem orientated. They always focus on the problem rather than the solution. But the minute you start switching that to, okay, I'm not really going to focus on the problem. I need to focus on the solution. Because what happens when you focus on a problem? You see more of that bloody problem, right? It's just like me. I've got a white Audi, just a normal car, and I never ever noticed that. As soon as I got one, I noticed it everywhere. Same goes for, like, for instance, land. I never used to be interested in land And the minute I started saying, right, I know what I need to look for in land, you're just driving around, seeing opportunities left, right, and center. And it's powerful, okay? Like, you need to be focusing on what you want. Like, for instance, me, I remember in 2017, I set myself a goal. I said, right, I am going to be stood on a development site that we have purchased in the next 3 months. And I used to visualize that. Like, I'd close my eyes and visualize what it'd be like to drive up to a site and take a little selfie and saying, hey, we just bought our first land development site. Because it was a big deal for me, right? I'm shit at DIY. So I was like, right, how are we going to build houses? So I thought I need to focus on getting some education, focus on having the right people around me, and focus on building a business, not just putting bricks on top of each other, because it's not my skill set. And even though I visualized it saying it's going to happen in 3 months, it's going to happen in 3 months, guess what? It didn't happen in 3 months, but I didn't give up. I just kept focusing and focusing. And like anybody knows in property, there's always ups and downs. Property is not a bloody easy strategy. It's not simple. It's just like there's always something that goes wrong. But I just kept my focus on what I wanted to have. And then 6 months later, not 3 months, 6 months later, we were stood on the site, feeling really empowered and saying, look, we bought our first site and now let's start building, you know? So it's just about maintaining your focus. And I just want you guys to know, like, it's that you can focus on opportunity and growth, or you can focus on problems. Like, which one are you focused on? So anytime you're even feeling a little bit negative, just make sure you're aware of where your focus is going. And if you feel that your focus is going negative, because we're all clever enough to know where it's going, stop, reset, and focus on something else, okay? Focus on the positives. So that's that one there. And then the final component is your language. Now, you might be thinking, oh, Sonny, what do you mean by language? Well, it's simple. The language that you use to communicate with yourself, whether that's internally or externally, ultimately determines of what you're going to actually have in the real world. Now, if people are asking questions such as like, why do bad things happen to me? Or I find health and fitness difficult, or it's hard to build wealth through property, by saying this over and over and over again, or even saying like, I'm not good enough, when you keep saying that over and over again, guess what? You start believing that as well. And that's how limiting beliefs are formed as well. Like, everybody's got a limiting belief. I have them as well, you know, but it's about focusing your language pattern to actually say, rather than saying, why do bad things happen to me? This is hard. That's difficult. I can't get fit. I'm not good enough. No one loves me. It's about saying the opposite of like, how can I succeed and build wealth? How can I become more healthier? How can I have the right people around me? How can I win in life, right? And when you ask those kind of questions, you start actually seeing the answers as well. And again, how you use your language also determines like how your emotions are as well and how you feel. So you have to be making sure that you choose wise words when you're speaking to yourself. And even during this lockdown now, I know a lot of people, they feel a bit discouraged. And you know what? I feel a little bit discouraged time to time as well. Why? Because this is new to us. No one's actually used to this feeling or this sort of like thing of like lockdown, especially the way they bloody use the word as well. I mean, like, it's not really a great frigging word to use, is it? Lockdown. Straight away, you're just like, man, am I imprisoned? No. It's just a little different scenario. So try and use different languages just to say, okay, I'm temporarily working from home. That's it. Or I'm temporarily not allowed to go out. Or this is actually happening for a bigger purpose. I just need to focus on myself to become a stronger person off the back of this. You know, like when you start asking and start saying those kind of things, that's when you start seeing results. And then another thing is like I normally hear, excuse me, I normally hear people saying, oh, Sonny, I can't really do this because I get stressed out, and that's me, right? And then the more and more you say certain things like that, I get stressed out, you start believing it. I just want to tell you one thing. Not a single human being on this earth was born stressed. It's just years of bloody conditioning and using the wrong language, focusing on the wrong thing, and actually neglecting our physiology as well. So if you're stressed out, if you worry about certain things, I want you just to incorporate these 3 simple steps. And it can happen in seconds as well. Like I said, wherever you are right now, sit up straight, look at your physiology, focus. What are you focusing on next? Use the right language. And I guarantee your mind, when you say something out loud, you're not telling somebody else, you're actually telling yourself. And the more and more you say it, the more and more you believe it. So I genuinely believe if you're saying negative things, flip it. Start saying positive things. You'll start seeing a difference. I guarantee it. So that was that one. So that is the 3 steps to focus on and analyze your state and come out a stronger person. Now we're going to focus on achieving any goal that you desire. So the first step is to focus on your routine and have some discipline, okay? Like, you want to have a routine that works for you. And without this, you're never, ever going to actually achieve what you want, because you're just going to be running around in circles. Like, our human mind has over 70,000 thoughts every second. right? And on top of that, you want to be successful. On top of that, you want to be healthy. On top of that, you want to win in life. On top of that, you want to spend time with your family. You want to buy the dream house. You want to go on holiday. You want to have more time. And if you don't have a routine of how you're going to get there, or a structure, or a certain discipline, you're just going to be literally, oh, hold on, I've got something coming through on the chat. Is it working? 15 minutes to go. God damn, 15 minutes to go. Okay, everybody knows me for talking a lot and talking fast, so I'm going to speed this up. Cool. But you need to have a routine. Now, it's not going to be perfect, because this situation is actually alien to us as well. But it's better to do something rather than nothing. And I know a lot of parents are out there right now, and they're at home with their kids, and they're finding it a little bit difficult. And me, I'm always posting inspirational stuff just to get people like charged up and just say, look, you can do this, you can do that. But whatever works for you guys as well. I mean, even spending like 30 minutes a day just to learn something new, or just to have a different conversation with someone. And then the discipline side of thing, it is seen as a negative sort of connotation, but it's not. It's about disciplining yourself to be successful. And you see the greats in the world, like they're always disciplined, whether they have good in their life, whether they have bad, whatever their goal is, they actually just keep disciplined and keep pushing forward. And if anybody's obviously heard of J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter author, the lady, I mean, she's super inspiring. If you haven't seen her story, research her. I mean, even with her, she had knockback after knockback, and like her mother passed away. She was a single mother, and literally she was just like laughed out of dozens of publishers. And she even like made the Harry Potter book and actually sent it to 12 different publishers. And you know what their response was? They all knocked her back, and one said, "This ain't never gonna work for you. You might as well just go out and get a day job. You're not cut out for this." But she didn't give up on her goal, right? And now look at her. She's literally sold over $400 million worth of her books, and that's without the royalties from the movies or anything. You know? So look at other people to see what kind of disciplines and habits they take on. And then the next one, I'm going to speed this up because Alice is probably going to be like, hurry up, Sunny. Time blocking. Again, this is like your time. Like, how are you spending your time in your week, right? Like, make sure you're time blocking and actually creating like a workflow of what you need to do in the week ahead. And what I always do myself is Sunday, I'll plan everything I need to do for the week. And then every activity that I need to do, I'll give that a time slot, right? So if I'm going to call agents, I'm going to put, right, 1 hour. If I'm going to analyze deals, 2 hours. If I'm going to work on my public speaking or coaching or something like that, I'll give those time slots, but I'll always give it a time span as well. So when that time is up, I stop, I review what happened, and then I move on to the next thing. Rather than trying to have like 10 things that people try and do in one day, on average, it takes about an hour to do a certain task. And you're trying to get 10 hours worth of work done in like a 5, 6, 7, 8 hour day, right? So it's not going to happen. So make sure you time block. Then the next one is about having goals, right? You need to have clear-cut goals of where you're going. Now, everybody's heard the concept of SMART goals. Make sure your goals are set smart. And ultimately, it's like we all set a big goal, but then we get overwhelmed because we don't know how to get there. I mean, I hear so many people saying that they want to make 10 grand a month from property. And like it's from 0 to 10 grand. And it's like, okay, be realistic, right? That's not going to happen overnight because that has a massive amount of different workload and certain activities you have to do. But just aim for something that's realistic. Maybe go for something like 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 grand a month. So okay, I'm going to go for that first. Then I'm going to re-strategize and then go for my 10, you know? So break those things down. Like, for instance, me, like I always say to people, like, set a monetary goal, but don't focus on the monetary goal because the human mind doesn't get excited with money. The human mind gets excited on emotion and goal-orientated results. So I want you guys to set that monetary goal, but then what's it going to allow you to do? It's going to allow you to have holidays, time with the family, a new lifestyle, more freedom, more time, you know, like what is it going to give you? It's going to buy you that dream house, whatever it is, and keep your focus on that. Because when things get difficult, you need to focus on the things that actually mean something to you rather than money, because the human mind doesn't get it. For instance, me, my goal is to make £56,000 a month in the next 12 to 18 months. But I don't focus on that. I set that goal. But the reason I also want that to happen is because A, I don't need that. I don't have to live that kind of lifestyle, but it's going to allow me to do the things that I want to do, to travel, to spend time with my kids and my family. I haven't got kids yet, by the way, but I will have in the future, to spend time with them. And one of my main goals is to give back and contribute to the world by building homes in third world countries. And I'm going to focus on this doing with my good friend Mahal Patel, because we set this goal out like back end of last year. Yeah, back end of last year. And I was like, right, in order for me to make a difference in the world, I need to be making a lot more money, not spending it on myself, but actually making a difference. And the number one thing is, when you're setting a goal, do not compare yourself to other people. Like, we always look at other successful people and say, oh man, I wish I was like that, or I wish I was there, right? You don't know their story, you don't know their struggle, and we only see the shiny stuff that people show on social media. And the only person I really want you guys to compare yourself to is who you were yesterday, okay? Like, if you compare yourself to who you were yesterday, and be honest, Are you happy? Are you proud of the person you are today? And if you're not, do something about it and just make sure you're moving forward bit by bit. Now, this is a quick one for you guys. Just take a screenshot or something, or when you're watching a replay, you can come back to this. And this is what I use to set goals, right? So in the top right-hand corner is a 3-month, 6-month, or a 12-month goal. And then in the top box, I want you guys to put that goal that you're trying to achieve and a date by the time that you've got it as well. It has to be very specific like that. And then just work out all your small steps, your medium steps, and your large steps, and put them in order of actually how you need to do them and when, and then just focus on the step ahead of you rather than the massive goal, because it can get overwhelmed and we just find it difficult to achieve it, right? So make sure you're focusing on that as well, right? I'm moving quick as I can, Alice. Time blocking, visualization. So that's there. Visualization, again, visualization sort of comes back to what I've already said. Whatever you want in life, just make sure you take a minute. I always take about 3 minutes in the morning just to visualize what I want to achieve in life. And I visualize my lifestyle like that, just like I did with the goal setting visualization of being on a site. The same thing. What's that feeling? What's that emotion? What's it going to allow you to do? And every single day you can reset your mind just to be in that state, because when you're thinking about something, the human mind doesn't know if it happened in the past, if it's happening right now, or if it's happening in the future. And when you prime your mind to be in that state, that's when you're going to start seeing results. And then the next thing is your circle as well. Just make sure you guys, in order to achieve any goal, you have to actually make sure you're in a positive circle. Like, so many people will be around you trying to douse your flame, feeling negative, not really supporting you and pushing you up. And it's very important to ensure that you're in a right circle. Are people lifting you up? And I know a lot of people they have friends or family in their circle, and you have a massive goal, but nobody else really believes in you, right? And it's a case of believing in yourself, but then surrounding yourself with the right people. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you'll always talk yourself out of it. I've been there, it's horrible. But when you actually start working on your circle and being around positive and like-minded people, that's when things are going to change, right? And even for me, like, I have haters, like people around me that say, oh, he's too positive. I mean, how can you hate somebody for being too positive, right? Like, sod it. But I want you to remember one thing as well. Your circle, the people around you, if somebody's got an opinion about you and you don't like it, just remember one thing. If somebody doesn't care about you, don't care about their opinion. Plain and simple, okay? Focus on you. Focus on what's going to actually get you to where you want to get to. And the plain simple growth cycle is basically, that's you in the middle. And surround yourself with somebody that's like, for example, 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, or 2 or 3 years ahead of you, or whatever it is, right? Or where you want to be. Surround yourself with those kind of people. And they could be mentors, coaches, friends, people you aspire to be like. And then also somebody that's 2 or 3 steps behind you that wants to be where you are as well, right? You may think that you're at the bottom of 2 steps behind, but I guarantee you, wherever you are right now, there's somebody that's not thinking as strong and not thinking as positive as you, and you can help them up as well. And you just rinse and repeat that cycle, because that's going to allow you to grow. So that's that. And then another one, gratitude and appreciation. Like, before you achieve any other goal, you have to be thankful for what you've already got in life right now, and everything that you've already overcome in life. Like, we've all overcome struggles and hurdles to be where we are right today, this second, okay? But we don't look at that. We just keep looking forward and be like, shit, I want to have more. I want to do this. I want to do that, right? But until you start appreciating what's in your life, from your family to the career that you've actually got, maybe starting your business, maybe becoming a parent. I mean, that's a big thing, right? Getting married and stuff, you know, all those things, you've achieved so much and you're here today. So just be thankful and blessed for that before you start aiming for any other goals, because I guarantee the more and more you get in life, you'll never be satisfied. I've been there, I've done that. It doesn't work. The minute you're actually thankful for what you've got, and even now, like, a lot of people saying, oh, I'm stuck at home, but actually be thankful for the fact that you're blessed to have a home to be actually stuck in, right? There's people that would die to be in our position and be online like this and learning this kind of stuff, right? So make sure you show gratitude. Whew, that was that. Okay, so that was there. I know Alice said 15 minutes. I've probably got about 4 left, so I'm just going to push on. So I hope that helped you guys. So I'm just going to push back. So that was all the goal side of things. So make sure you have a routine and discipline. Make sure you focus on being efficient with your time. Visualize more. I think Alice has written something. And 5 minutes. Cool. 5 minutes. Whew. Okay, I can slow down. So I hope that made sense. that's the what's the word? The perks of being the first on. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, obviously, so make sure you focus on your routine and your discipline. Have something rather than nothing. Make sure you focus on your time blocking. Visualization is friggin' well powerful, okay? If you don't know how to do it, YouTube it. It's simple. Goals, again, make sure you set clear-cut goals that are actually mean something to you and not somebody else. Fix your circle, and then show gratitude and appreciation. And then, next slide, my next move. So basically, this is just to inspire you guys, or just to show you what other people are doing. So for me, like, I'm still going to be focusing on well, first and foremost, I didn't actually put this on here, but I should have, is actually fixing what we've already got. Because I know a lot of people are always trying to push forward and basically, yeah, a lot of people always trying to push forward, and me the same as well. I'm exactly the same. We, as entrepreneurs and like successful people, we always want to have more, right? And it's all good and well. You should be striving for more. But the first thing I would put on this, which isn't on there, is to fix everything we've got right now, make sure it's all working, which we are doing. We have regular meetings with the team. We're always just like making sure we're on top of certain things and we push forward. But going forward, I'm still going to carry on doing portfolio building and BRR. So that's buy, refurb, refinance. I'm still going to push on that going forwards. And even like to touch on the buy, refurb, refinance. I know a lot of people get into, excuse me, a lot of people say they want to get into BRR and they want to buy a property, do it up, refinance or sell it on, and that's it, like 6 months, 7 months, whatever, right? But with the situation right now, that may not be possible. I mean, like house prices, personally, I don't think they're going to go any higher anytime soon. But if prices do drop, I don't know how much they are going to drop by for property, but it's going to be the ideal time to actually buy property as well and do BRR over a year or 2 years or 3 years, right? So I always recommend to people when you're doing property, you can have a short-term goal, cool, but make sure you're also doing a long-term plan as well, right? Like have that strategy. Like even off the back of this, like for anybody that wants any tips on doing their property business, getting into property, or even from their career transition or anything like that, just make sure everybody listening has at least done a 90-day cash flow forecast. Okay, if you haven't done that, you need to be doing that first and foremost. And that's what we do across all our businesses. We always focus on, right, when this happened, it was like, cool, let's not panic. Let's see what's coming into our business and let's see what's going out. Now, most people sit there and be like, shit, I'm not making this much money. I'm not making this and I'm not making that. But have you actually stopped to do your numbers to actually see, okay, maybe I'm not making this much. So you feel like that's a massive deficit, but you're not spending as much either, right? So make sure you have that so you can see that the imbalance isn't that great. I mean, if you look at most people, you're probably not spending about £1,000 to £2,000 on fuel, on going out, on shopping, on like events and stuff and travel, all that kind of stuff. So you're actually saving money. So make sure you have a 90-day cash flow plan. Then we're also going to focus on land development because that's what we do. E-commerce business, still going to grow those. Our fashion brand, Sunshine State of Mind, we've got a massive plan for that. So that's going to be popping off once this is all over, once it all blows over, because everything is temporary. And retail and food as well. So we've got a few business ideas that we're going to look to push off the back of this as well. It's going to be phenomenal, okay? And this just goes to show, like, you can either be problem orientated and just sit there and think, oh man, what's happening in the world? Or you can actually be solution orientated and just say, you know what, what's the benefit of this situation? What can I do to better myself? And it doesn't have to be major moves. It just take an idea that you had in your head and take it out and figure out a plan to actually turn it into a reality. Because you look at the most successful things in the world, like for instance, iPhones, laptops, whatever it is, it all starts with an idea, right? Any business that we've done in the past, it all started with an idea in my head to actually say, right, let's get this out and how do we turn this into reality? And it's not going to happen overnight. So if you don't start now, it's going to happen never. Okay, so just make sure you're pushing on going forwards. Cool, slide. Next slide. Cool. So the opportunity. So this, in my eyes, is, again, this is just my opinion. Yeah. So if you look at it, like property is the third largest industry responsible for creating billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires. And the first two industries before that is retail and finance as well. But it's not to say that even those companies don't invest in real estate and property as well, because I know a lot of people in those industries that are always saying, Sonny, how do I put my money into property? How do I do this? How do I do that? So it's a massive industry. And it's like, literally, you don't have to become a billionaire or a millionaire if you don't want. But if other people are doing that, I'm sure you can get somewhere near the goal that you want to target from as well. And if you look at since the 1950s, property market value has in the UK doubled on average every 7 to 10 years. That's not like highly accurate of the timescale, but it has happened over that time period as well. So if you look at it, property prices are at a peak now, and if they do drop to a trough, like what happens when you buy at a trough? When you buy low, property prices go up, not instantly, but they'll go over eventually. And then you can make passive income, aka make money while you sleep. Now, the reason I put a little asterisk next to passive income, because a lot of people say, I want to have passive income. It's like, cool, you can have that. You need the right systems, the right processes, right teams in place, but you got to frigging put the work in to start with as well, you know? So just like people that are looking to get into property, just don't think it's easy. It's a walk in the park. You have to put the work in first and foremost, then you can have passive income with the right kind of stuff, right? So it's opportunity to have that, right? And then also to set up that business that you've always been putting off. like with that, like this is the right time to actually say, okay, what do I actually want to do in life? What makes me happy? What is my skill set? What am I good at? And actually focus on like that business that you've been putting off, or that idea. Get it out of your head. Start speaking to people around you. Like just get feedback and just see how you can create that. Because if you look at the last 2008 through 2009 crisis and stuff, that was the time when the biggest amount of millionaires were made, and when the best businesses kicked off and actually figured out what was missing in the market, rather than just thinking, okay, we can't do this and stop. And ultimately, in times of uncertainty is when a lot of money is to be made. So just be open, be ready, be realistic of what you can achieve out of this, and actually just don't give up. Okay, that's plain simple. So the key takeaways are: make sure you guys focus daily, and I mean daily, on controlling your state of what I went through at the start. Make sure you have a routine that actually works for you, doesn't work for anybody else, works for you, whatever your lifestyle's like. Make sure you time block so you'll be more efficient with your time as well. Visualization, it's massive. I mean, even after this, even if you stop, close your eyes, visualize where you're going to be in a year or 2 years, and that whole lifestyle is going to just put you in that right state. Then set clear and relevant goals that only work for you, okay? Never comparing to somebody else. What do you need to happen to be happy with your income or your like wealth building strategy or whatever it is that you're doing? Just set that goal according to you. Make sure you fix your circle. Delayed gratification, put the hard work in now, it will pay off in the future. Don't try and have like overnight result. And again, the reason I say delayed gratification, if you actually look at it, I blame Amazon a little bit. Why? Because we're so used to, you go on Amazon, prime this and prime that, you click it and it's here tomorrow. And we get used to that. So we just make a goal or a vision or an idea and we expect that to be here tomorrow as well. No, it's not going to happen, but you need to put the hard work in now, be in that positive mindset and just go for it. And again, just get ready to thrive. And that's me, people. Thank you very much, my lovely human beings, for being on. It was awesome. So I hope you guys found value in that. Again, just take action on something that you feel that will benefit you. And please make sure, my only request is follow me on social media, because I'm going to be putting out loads more content to inspire people. I'm there to help everybody and stuff. So make sure Instagram, Sunny Mahal Official, LinkedIn and Facebook, Sunny Mahal. And if you want to look at the services that I provide, whether it's property coaching, mindset coaching, business coaching, wherever it is, and even if you want to hire me for another speaking gig, go to sunnymahal.com and check me out, people. And that's me, human beings. Woo.
Whoa, that was certainly a lot to take in at this time. But, you know, everyone's loving that, Sunny. Really, thank you very much for that. It's got everyone in the right frame of mind, really, to kind of listen to all the speakers today and see how they're going to apply this, you know, all the strategies they're going to learn and how they're going to set their goals. We've had a couple of questions come through.
Nice.
So we're good to get started on a few questions?
Come on then, mate. Let's do this.
Let's just do it. Okay, so we've got kind of, you mentioned your physiological state. Kind of, how do you track that and how do you maintain it whilst you're kind of on the road? Because previously you got kind of on the road a lot, traveling around. It was quite difficult to kind of stay on top of everything. You know, you were in service stations. How did you kind of keep track of it, stay in a good state of mind, stay refreshed and eat well whilst living such a busy life?
It comes back to what I said, like time planning and like setting goals and sort of breaking it down. It's because when we keep everything in our mind, we don't actually have a clear route to do it. It's like if you were to say, like, Sunny, come see me today and we'll do a live in person. I'm like, yeah, cool. And I jump in the car, but I don't know where you live. I don't know where you are. I have no way to get there, right? And the same thing, like in life, any goal that we want to achieve, whether it's your physiology, your mindset, your focus, like you want to be aware of what you need to achieve and then just break it down, right? And just stick to it. Because if you look at most people, they go and work for somebody else and it's like a 9 to 5 and they go into work and they say, right, you need to do this, 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 this. And then as soon as they finish, you start just free flowing in your own life, right? You don't really bother. You don't have a plan. You don't have structure. You're like, I'll go do this today. I'll watch a bit of EastEnders. Make sure you don't watch that, by the way. It'll fry your brain. Stuff like that. So you just need to plan it and stuff, right? And it's not about it's about setting a big goal, but not about focusing on that. Just take it step by step. And for me, I always plan in my workouts ahead, so I know what I'm doing. And again, when you've planned something in advance, your mind is already framed to say, okay, this is happening at this time, right? I'm not just going to think, I'll work out when I want to, because you'll never do it. And then your focus as well and your language, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's about being aware of your focus of like, okay, when you are feeling negative, when you're feeling down, or when you're not really productive, or you're problem orientated, be aware of that to stop it and then start changing your focus, changing your language. And it's literally just doing that over and over again. I mean, I've been doing this for years now, so it's not, I found it difficult at the start as well. And I still have like little blips as well. We're only human, right? It's not going to be perfect. And that's the one thing. A lot of people try and think they have to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. For me, I did that For instance, I did that body transformation then. I'm not in that same ripped physique now, but I don't really have a personal need to be in that position as well, because I'm comfortable with where I am, right? But I still make sure I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm eating the right kind of stuff. So it's just what works for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So in terms of kind of, I know you mentioned time blocking and things like that. So I have quite a few people, they're kind of busy, they've got busy life, they've got kids who don't necessarily kind of support time blocking. They just want attention as and when. Have you got any tips for them on how they can block out time and how they can start to kind of get into this routine of success?
Yeah, I mean, like for that, I would say like whatever the first and foremost thing is you have to be happy with what you're doing as well, right? And family comes first and foremost, plain and simple. But the key thing is, okay, with that, I would say like write out in your week, like on your calendar, just write out what your typical day looks like, right? It's everything has like a routine, has a pattern and stuff. So you normally know when kids need your attention. You normally know when kids are going to go to sleep. You normally know when they're going to go to school. Obviously, right now everybody's at home and stuff, right? But just sort of plan it out, and then you can visually see it in front of you. So okay, this is what's going on. I can see some like slots where I could actually do something. And like I said, it doesn't have to be something massive. It just even 15 minutes reading a book, right? Or learning about a new skill set, or reaching out to somebody and actually not having a conversation about business, about property, about whatever it is, and just having a conversation just to let thoughts out and just speak to people, right? You never know where that's going to lead to. So I would always say that plan out what your typical day looks like, and then see where you can just slot something rather than nothing. I know a lot of people say that I can't do anything. That's not true. You can do something. Again, when you say I can't do anything or I don't have enough time, again, it comes down to language. The more and more you say that, the more and more you believe that. And it becomes a limiting belief. But then when you just break it down and just try and sort of restructure certain things, that's when you're going to start seeing it. And then the more and more you do it, the better and better you're going to become at it.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of, you mentioned typical day. So kind of what does your typical day look like? Do you leave kind of windows free for spontaneous things, or is it kind of regimented? Each hour you've got mapped out.
What, in this current climate or in normal days?
You go through both.
Okay, both. So with this one, so normal day, I'll be up about 5:30, 6 o'clock, head to the gym, and by 9, half 9, I'm home. So I spend like 3 hours doing stuff that I enjoy doing, right? I want to start the day by doing me. Now, I know a lot of people have kids and stuff, so they can't really do that sometimes, but it's again, me having that me time there just to work on my health and fitness and just to get primed for the day ahead. Then when I come back, it's straight away like breakfast and shower and stuff. And then in the morning, I'll have like a 20-minute meeting with my missus just to say, okay, where are we today? What are we doing going forward? What are you doing? What am I doing? So at least we're clear on what we're doing. Do you need my help for anything? If you do, get that in the day. If you don't, cool, I carry on doing what I'm doing. Then it's also, then I'll sort of like time block to do at least like minimum like 3 things, up to 5 things a day. That's it. Nothing more, because like most people, they have an endless list each day. And then when you look at the list, you get overwhelmed, right? And when you look at a list, humanly, we look at doing the easiest thing first. We don't look at doing the difficult thing first, right? It's just like, oh yeah, that looks easy. I'll start there and I'll get the snowball effect. No, you just start and you'll get worn out by the time you get to the hard ones. So I try and put the first thing that's like literally like the domino effect, right? So like, what's the first thing I need to do in a day to actually have an impact on everything else as well? So that's what I do there. And then I'll stop for lunch. And then I also like, the way I work is 50 minutes off, 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. So I'll tell Alexa saying, wake me up in 50 minutes, and then that'll be my 10-minute window. And then I'll stop, refresh, and then go back in again, because the human mind actually stops paying attention after about 30 to 45 minutes. And then you need to stop, reset, and then come back stronger. So that's what I do there. And then I try and like, normally I would switch off about 5, 6 o'clock just to learn something, read something, work on my social media. But now literally I'm going sometimes till like 8 o'clock, just because you're at home and I don't want to really sit there just doing nothing and watching TV. So I'll just have things going. But to break it down, there's literally 3 or 5 things, nothing more, nothing less. And those things can take some hours as well.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of kind of deciding what to say yes or no to, so obviously you've got your schedule together. How do you decide what stuff to say yes to and what stuff to say no to?
That's pretty, I don't know, for me, it's pretty simple, to be fair. Like any task I'm doing, does that align with my end goal? Does that align with the result that I want to have? And if it's like, for instance, like when I've got stuff planned in, it's so I'm moving forward step by step each day. And if somebody says, okay, can you call me at this time or can we catch up at this time? I'll just look at my calendar and say no or yes at this time, right? So I'll focus. And again, it just comes down to doing, the more and more you do in your business, the more and more you know what you need to do. But even the easiest way is like saying, okay, the first thing that you need to do, or things that you need to focus on, is something that nobody else in the team or nobody else in your circle can actually do but you. So you get on with that. Then it's about looking at, okay, cool, what can I delegate? What can I pass on to somebody else? And then what can I do right at the end, or like systemize and process? And then what is that fourth thing that I don't need to do at all, because it's going to be pointless for me to do? And there's a good thing called the Eisenhower matrix as well. So if anybody wants to Google that and check that out, I use that myself as well. Powerful.
Okay, perfect. So when you're setting goals, when you're setting those big goals, how do you overcome the kind of feeling that you're gonna feel scared or that just unachievable? Kind of, making £50,000 a month, that for someone now who's in a job and kind of maybe earning 1 or 2,000, that just seems really scary and almost unbelievable. How do you overcome that?
Find people that have already done it. That just proves that shit is possible. Plain and simple. We always make it up in our head like, I want this, but I can't do it. And until it's just like the 4-minute mile. Until Roger Bannister, like before the 4-minute mile was ran, it was said that it's humanly impossible to actually do, right? And then in 1954, May 6th, which was actually my birthday, but I wasn't obviously alive in 1956, he actually broke that 4-minute mile, right? And he did it. And then literally that only lasted for like 46 or 56 days. And then Richard Landy, he went on and actually broke that record because he saw somebody else that had done it. So for me, I would say whatever you want, like I would never set that big goal back in the day either. I would have started, like I said, start somewhere small to hit those goals, find somebody that's already done it. And you don't have to necessarily copy them, but it just goes to show that if somebody else can achieve it, why can't I achieve it? If Alan Sugar can have this massive like brand and be on TV and be like just a really big businessman, he started from something small, right? So you just see, okay, if somebody else can do that, I can do that as well. And I would say like wherever you are right now, to see what, and again, it all comes down to income as well, right? Most people, they want to do something they're passionate about to make money so they don't have to work for somebody else. If we're looking at somebody that's a professional, for instance. Now that, I would just say your next goal is to replace your income. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? What is that goal? What needs to happen? And if you're in a profession, you ain't making like 20 grand a month. If you were, you'd stay there, right? So you're making something like probably 2 to 5 or 6 grand a month. So you just say, I'm going to focus on replacing that with what is my skill sets. Write down what's your skill sets. What are you passionate about, right? And I know a lot of people say, do something that you're passionate about, but maybe you can't really do that to start with. You have to be realistic as well. So what is it, my skill set, or what is it that I'm actually could enjoy myself doing to get that income, to then start looking at what makes me happy, what I'm passionate about, and then start doing it bit by bit.
Yeah, perfect. Fantastic answer. So I know you're top you're wearing, you've got your sunshine state of mind. So it's all about kind of being in that positive mental state all the time. Sometimes you don't feel like it. And it's all these kind of small things that come together that keep you on track and keep you energized. Yeah. So really, where can I get one of those tops from?
ssom.com.
ssom.com. Perfect. It's 10 o'clock now. That's a wrap. That's been an incredible talk, and it's really set everybody up for the day. So thank you very much, Sonny, for that. It's been enormous. We've had some really great feedback. Well over 200 people watching that.
Okay, so I better have 200 new followers today. Okay, I gave you all this time. You show me some love. Okay, what you got to be like that?
Yeah, and the best way to show some love is to donate some money to the NHS.
Exactly.
So Virgin Giving, the Facebook page. Let's all just give as much as we can. Get them the PPE. I'm really, let's help those guys.
And even with that comes down to focus as well. Some people say, no, well, the NHS is, it's got nothing to do with me, but I don't really want to donate. But then if you look at it, if it weren't for them, you would not be sat where you are right now. If it weren't for them, you're going to have the luxury of saying, okay, cool, if I'm feeling ill, I'll call the doctor, I'll go to the hospital. If I've got an emergency, I'll go there. They're just going to be there, sat there waiting for you. Like, come on, let me fix you. No, it's like, that's a passion they have, right? They want to make a difference. So we should actually do something to help them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've got Jackie Times up next. Thank you very much, Sonny. Any questions? Yeah, here's his contact details. So follow him on Instagram, connect with him. He posts a lot of inspirational stuff. Sometimes when I'm feeling a bit kind of demotivated, I pop on Instagram and I see him, and it puts you back on track. So it's definitely worth following him for that.
Cool, guys. But mate, I hope like everybody found Some people are going to find that all valuable. Some people are going to find snippets. Whatever you found valuable, just make sure you implement that into your life, because I guarantee all of that stuff will help you move forwards. And just picture yourself this time next year, not this time today with everybody like, oh, I'm at home. Picture yourself in a year's time, in 5 years' time, and just whatever you want that to look like, go and get it. Because if somebody else can achieve it, ain't nothing stopping you to do it but you. Plain and simple.
Perfect. Thank you. I think you're right to leave the meeting there on Zoom. We'll let Jackie Tomes in and yeah, get moving on that. Thank you once again.
Cool, man. Peace out. Love you all. Bye-bye.